We weather the storm and the squalls on the shore, dropping ill anecdotes that you ain't heard before. This ain't casting away, it's a deep sea dive, extracting the truth so the culture can thrive. We dissect every piece of the wreckage and rust, turning nautical tales into audible trust. So batten the hatches and lock the main gate. The Shipwreck Podcast is determining fate. Yo, we weather the storm and the squalls on the shore, dropping ill anecdotes that you ain't heard before. This ain't casting away, it's a deep sea dive, extracting the truth so the culture can thrive. We dissect every piece of the wreckage and rust, turning nautical tales into audible trust. So batten the hatches and lock the main gate. The Shipwreck Podcast is determining fate. Yo, we weather the storm and the squalls on the shore, dropping ill anecdotes that you ain't heard before. This ain't casting away, it's a deep sea dive, extracting the truth so the culture can thrive. We dissect every piece of the wreckage and rust, turning nautical tales into audible trust. So batten the hatches and lock the main gate. The Shipwreck Podcast is determining fate. Yo, we weather the storm and the squalls on the shore, dropping ill anecdotes that you ain't heard before. This ain't casting away, it's a deep sea dive, extracting the truth so the culture can thrive. We dissect every piece of the wreckage and rust, turning nautical tales into audible trust. So batten the hatches and lock the main gate. The Shipwreck Podcast is determining fate. Yo, welcome
everybody to the Shipwreck Podcast. I'm your host, Bobby Ship. Hope y'all can hear me well today. Once again, I'm coming to y'all from an undisclosed location on the West Coast. West Coast in the house. Yeah. I've been enjoying my time out here. It's really been a good time. We got a jam-packed show today. We're going to get into a bunch of different things. We're going to talk a little bit about some more corruption that we got going on in Trump administration. We're going to talk about a little bit of deportation story. Just one I just wanted to talk about. The USS Lincoln is coming home. The link is coming home, y'all. So I'm really looking forward to that. We had some elections that happened yesterday, and I wanted to get into that. We got some good news going on with a court case. And then we'll get into the topic of the day, which is Byron Donalds and Stephen A. Smith. Tomato. Are they both the same coin? I'm really looking forward to hearing about y'all opinion on that because I have my own. One to me is a little worse than the other. But I can understand anybody feeling like they are one and the same. But so anyway, that's the rundown of what we got going on today. I'm really looking forward to having this conversation with everybody. We got some guests already waiting. Let's bring them on because I want to get to this show pretty good and early so we can really have some time to talk. Welcome, Ronnie. How you doing? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. I can hear you, bro. What's good with you?
Good. Welcome back to the pod.
You already know the rules, man. What's going on with you? It's going to be another exciting one.
Yeah. I'm really looking forward to this one. I did a little bit of research. I tried to get a lot more examples and videos, but it was just kind of hard to do as far as cutting stuff down like that, and I just ain't had the time today to do it all. But we still gonna have an exciting show. I'm really looking forward to it. Again, like I told you, the Lincoln is on his way home, or like I told everybody, the Lincoln is on the way home.
Yeah.
I'm excited for them. Hopefully the entire crew gets to come, the entire battle group gets to come home. That's a maybe at this point. We'll get into it a little bit more here in a minute, but I think one of the destroyers is going to wind up staying out there, but we'll talk about that in a second.
They done swapped out a couple times already, too, so.
One has been out there. Two has been out there the whole time with them. And so, And so they're then there's one that may have to stay as well. But anyway, we'll talk about that in a second. Let's get into some quick corruption stuff that's going on. I don't know if you heard of this lady by the name of Tina Peters. She was convicted in Colorado.
Right back.
I'm just get right here for a second. She was convicted in Colorado of voter, it wasn't actually voter fraud per se. She went into the vote, trying to get into the voting machines and try to prove that Trump won the 2020 election. She was convicted, tried and convicted, given that 8-year sentence. And to be honest, even a lot of people, to be fair, a lot of people said 8-year sentence was a little long. However, she was still in year 1 or 2 of that sentence. Trump pardoned her, even though his pardon didn't mean anything, simply because she was convicted in the state of Colorado. So his pardons does nothing, doesn't do shit there. And he went on to strong arm Colorado, and I think illegally. So I got a quick video so you guys to see what's going on now, because it's not just me that says that what he did was illegal and unconstitutional. Here we go.
Denver 7 is learning more about evidence attorneys believe proves their case that the Trump administration illegally targeted Colorado, and it all comes down to one email.
One of the president's staffers sent a message late last year to federal agency heads, and within days, the government pulled hundreds of millions of dollars in funds from our state.
So Denver 7 got our hands on the documents that discuss this email, which our partners at the Denver Post first reported.
Our political reporter, Colette Bordelon, is breaking down what you need to know.
Attorneys call it a smoking gun. The judge says they've never seen anything like it. And what would happen if the Denver Post got their hands on it?
Shocked but not surprised.
Those are all details contained in this court transcript obtained by Denver 7 that's now getting national attention thanks to our partners at the Denver Post, who first broke the news. It details a hearing in a case filed by the Colorado Attorney General against the Trump administration. That's related to a handful of actions the state is arguing were part of a revenge campaign, like moving U.S. Space Command from Colorado Springs to Alabama, and the dismantling of NCAR, the National Center for Atmospheric Research in Boulder. In the court hearing from last week, Colorado attorneys discussed an email they discovered that was sent from a White House staff member, Emily Underwood, to a number of federal agencies on December 15th of last year, with the subject line, brainstorm call. Attorneys say it's part of an unconstitutional scheme to attack and punish the state of Colorado, pointing to a line from that email where the staffer says, please come prepared to discuss immediate actions that your department or agency can take with respect to Colorado.
Due to the timing of the email, it suggested that it was related to attempts by President Trump to get Colorado to pardon Tina Peters, although that is not explicitly stated. The timing is quite suggestive.
We spoke with law professor Ian Farrell about the email, which was sent just a few days after President Donald Trump said on Truth Social that he was granting former Mesa County Clerk Tina Peters a full pardon. Peters was convicted on state charges after allowing unauthorized personnel access to the Mesa County election system in 2020. Trump didn't have the power to pardon her, since Peters was charged with state, not federal crimes. Ultimately, though, Governor Jared Polis went on to grant Peters clemency in May. She's now out of prison. How pivotal is it for the Attorney General's office to have obtained this email?
It's incredibly important. It is often very, very difficult. In most circumstances, it is quite difficult to prove motive or intent.
Farrell explained what's at the heart of this case, the division of power between state and federal governments.
While there is some degree of discretion on the part of the federal government with respect to how it executes the law, how it gives out money and
Are we back? I'm sorry. I don't know what happened there. I think I shut it off by accident. Let's see.
Denver 7 is learning more
of the states and the federal system of the states and the federal system that we have, essentially either order states to do its bidding or punish them for not doing its bidding.
In Denver, Colette Bordelon, Denver 7.
Denver 7 has.
So again, he basically strong-armed the state into pardoning this woman. This in and of itself should be impeachable. It should be a scandal. And I'm sure nobody on that's watching right now even heard about this. It's really appalling what this man is doing. And unfortunately, he can pardon everybody that did his bidding, did his work for him federally. And I don't know if the state of Colorado will have any recourse to federally go after them for extortion or anything like that. But clearly, he is used the power of the full weight of the federal government to have somebody pardon in the state. So now he knows how to do it. You know, now he knows how to keep funds from going to the state. He knows how to pull bases out. He knows how to do things that'll hurt the state and hurt the governor enough to say, okay, I'll give you this woman back, or I'll give you this person back, or I won't investigate here, or I'll give you this, I'll give you that. We got a mob boss as a president. It's pretty simple to me. It's pretty easy to understand and pretty easy to understand that we really got a mob boss as president. Ronnie, you back?
Yeah, I've been back. I'm listening to what you.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Did you check that when I did? What did you thought about
Yeah,
that?
yeah. What I think about it? Listen, like I said before, uh, those type of things have been happening. However, it was being done behind the closed doors. He wasn't the first person to do any of this stuff that he's doing, strong harm armor states and all this other crap. However, he doing it blatantly. He like the John Gotti's. You know what I'm saying?
He's doing it for
Those kind
criminals.
of
He's doing it
he,
for criminals.
no. What I mean by that is like, the Costa Nostra. If you watch the History Channel and all that stuff, they was real secretive, right?
Yeah,
They was
yeah.
doing the same stuff he was doing it, but he was like, "Fuck it, I'm gonna let everybody know who I'm gonna be. I'm gonna be who I am out loud." You know what I'm saying? That's who he.
Mhm.
That's all he is.
Yep,
He ain't
yep.
nobody special, man. This time, listen, this kind of stuff happens, man. We go through all this stuff. You look at our history. I mean, we go through all kind of crazy shit. We done went through Prohibition. We done went through couple world wars, Vietnam, other wars, man. And what this clown doing? All they doing is showing folk that they votes actually really do count. They really need to go and do research about people and listen
Yeah,
to them. You
yeah,
feel what I'm
yeah.
saying? Not just thinking that's this party. I'm doing this because such and such. Listen, do your due diligence. Get out there and pick people that we need to be leading the country the way that it should be led in the majority's viewpoint, right? But the majority's viewpoint wasn't our viewpoint now, but now it is, because them people all that was thinking the other way are now like, oh no, what do we do? Like,
Yeah,
now you know. That's why I love, like, it's cool for them to have their hand touch that hot pot sometime, baby, and see it.
absolutely. And that's what they did. That's what they did, and that's what they're doing.
Mhm.
So it is what it is, good people. It is what it is. So uh the next story is a deportation story that I wanted to get into. And it is this man right here. He is currently locked up. And well, let me just read it to you. So this is Roberto. He's a 59-year-old plumber from Miami. He's been inside a prison in Africa. Let me say that again. He has been inside a prison in Africa for more than a year, according to the New York Times. So they deported him to a prison in Africa. Uh, he never got to. So in June 2025, he walked into his routine annual immigration check-in in Florida with his company truck parked outside so he can head to a job after work. He never got back to the truck. Agents held him in Miami, then in El Paso, where he couldn't reach a lawyer for nearly 2 weeks. Then they loaded him onto a jet with 4 other men, transferred them to a military cargo plane outside the U.S. Air Base in Djibouti. So they just shipped him to Djibouti quick. And in Djibouti, they didn't tell him where they were going until it was landing. All 5 refused to sign removal orders. So they basically try to strong arm them and say either you sign removal orders and leave, or we taking you to prison. None of them signed. 30 hours after a hot Texas afternoon, Roberto stepped into a cold winter morning in Aswanti. I don't know where that is. A kingdom he had never heard of in Africa. Let me say that again. In Africa. The government there, the African government of Moscow, I don't know. Don't give me don't please don't shoot the messenger here. I am not good at pronunciation, but we're gonna keep it going. Anyway, the government in Africa received $5.1 million, $5.1 million from the US government for those 5 individuals. So for y'all who can't do the math, that is $1 million plus per individual for the United States paid this African country to take these 5 people. Homeland Security posted that the men were depraved monsters who were uniquely barbaric. Their home countries refused to take them back. Jamaica said that it never refused to take back its citizen on that flight. So there was a Jamaican person that they didn't even ask if Jamaica would take them back. They just shipped them to Africa. Anyway, Roberto came from Cuba at the age of 12 in 1980 in a boat lift, one of the big boat things that happened during the early 80s from Cuba to Florida. For those who don't know, fun fact, if you didn't know this or not, Cuba, if you come to the United States, if you make it to the shores of United States, you are allowed, you are considered, you came here legally. You're not considered an illegal immigrant if you make it to the shores of Cuba. So if you make it here by boat, if you swim, as you know, the closest is 90 miles. You can't swim it, but my point is still the same. If you make it to the shores of America, you are considered here legally. Only from Cuba. This is the only country that I know of that does that. Haiti doesn't do it. Dominican doesn't do it. Colombia, none of those other countries does it. Mexico obviously doesn't do it, but Cuba does. That was to try to break Castro's regime. Anyway, to continuing on. So he came in the early 80s. He took a plea deal. This is where the parts things get interesting. He took a plea deal for attempted murder in his 20s. In his 20s, he served 9 years and had lived legally under supervised check-in since 2002. So, let's be honest and let's have an honest conversation here. If obviously he was convicted of whether he took a plea deal or not, he was convicted of attempted murder. If our country, if we would have took him out then, I think it's time to go for our face. If we would have,
I'm still here.
yeah, y'all good. If we would have deported him after he got out after his 9 years, I wouldn't have an issue with this at all. Not even nothing whatsoever. He was convicted of a terrible crime, and he should have been deported. I get it. I wouldn't have had a problem with it. This afford him his rights. Obviously, let him have the time to appeal and do that whole process and all that stuff. And once his rights once he has done all with all his appeals, he got to go. If that's what the court said. If that's what the court say. That did not happen in 2002. They said our country, we said that he could stay. And since then, they put him on supervised check-ins with ICE, or before even, actually, this is before ICE. ICE was just invented under Homeland Security. So this is before ICE. So he was making his check-ins. His sisters remember him being on the porch. So this is the part that really gets interesting. Roberto's sister remembers him on the patio saying Trump was going to change everything. He told his daughters to vote for Trump. His 3 daughters are American citizens. They was born
That
in
what his ass good.
He told his 3 daughters to vote for Trump. As of this writing, as of me talking, after this airing of this podcast that we're doing right now, this young man, this old man, a 59-year-old, is still in Africa. Yeah. So, in prison, he has developed glaucoma. A doctor told him that he will lose half of his vision in one eye and 80% in the other. He stopped eating for nearly a month, demanding a lawyer and a reason why he's in Africa. The African country officials said that he was on voluntary religious fast instead of saying that he wasn't eating because he's pissed off about being in Africa. A federal judge ruled the program unlawful in February, writing that it is not fine nor is it legal. The Supreme Court stayed the ruling. So basically, the federal government one judge below the Supreme Court has said that this is illegal to be doing what you're doing, taking people from other countries and sending them to other countries. But the Supreme Court has stayed that. Yay, the Supreme Court. We got to big up the Supreme Court. Even more men has been sent to this African country on July 8th of this past year. So this man, again, I'm with you, Ronnie. You had your kids vote for this. You had your kids vote for it. And so they are getting, your family and you are getting what you voted for. You didn't think it was going to touch you. You thought that the mass deportations was not for you. You were better than that. No, not you. And I say that for everybody. If you don't think that they will come for you eventually, you're wrong. You're wrong. They're trying to take citizenship away from people who have become naturalized. Naturalized, in case you don't know, are people who have become citizens of the United States through years of being here and going through tests and background checks and everything and going through the entire process. They're trying to strip people's citizenship away. This is what our government has. This is what our government is at this point. And so I personally do not feel sorry for, well, actually, I take that back. I do feel sorry for him on a human level. I do feel sorry for him. I would wish that nobody should ever have to go through this. Nobody, including his daughters, including his family, sister, including him. However, they're getting the day that they voted for, and they be getting a bunch of those days. They really are. And it's hard. It's hard to feel tremendous sorrow, but I do feel bad for him. I do feel bad for him because this is what they voted for. This is what they wanted. They didn't think that it would touch their family, and for he thought he was going to change things, and he did. He changed your entire family's life. He changed your life, for the worse in many, 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 many ways. So yeah, that is a deportation story for the day. Next up, again, we talked about this a little bit earlier. The Lincoln is headed home after 9 straight months out to sea. Plus, it's still going to take a couple of weeks for the G Dub is actually replacing him. For those who don't know, that's the George Washington. Ronnie, I think you were on that, right? Or when you come back, we'll talk about it. Hold on, Ronnie, you back?
Yeah, I'm still here. I'm just
Mm,
cooking.
Okay, I just
Yeah,
I'm
but
having
no,
you.
no, no.
Yeah.
I
But
was on.
Washington.
I was actually on the George Washington before. I was on there when it was in
Yeah.
Japan, and then we did
Mhm.
a
It's still
tri-carrier
in
house
Japan.
swap.
It's coming from
Yeah, yeah. We did a tri-carrier house swap with the Reagan Theodore Roosevelt
Mhm.
and the Reagan GW Theodore Roosevelt. We took the Reagan back to Japan. They put G Dub in the yards for a little bit. But
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
now they're gonna take. I'm sure they're gonna take G Dub back over there as the original plan. I'm sure it probably was anyway.
Yeah, well, it's already there, and now it's already been stationed back in
Oh,
Japan for a
Japan.
minute,
Okay, good.
and now it's leaving from Japan. Yeah, it's leaving from Japan, going to relieve the Lincoln.
Yeah,
So for those
good.
out there that doesn't that think that this is the whole crew is bullshitting and they're just whining because they don't want to be out to sea and all this other stuff, I'm gonna just say a couple of things. One, if this wasn't true, why would the Secretary of the Navy meet with their families? That would never happen. That would never, ever, ever
Not ever.
happen if it wasn't if it wasn't something serious going on with the morale and the welfare of that shit and that battle group. And that's the thing that we need to stop just saying that it's just the Lincoln and just the Bush that's out there as well. Those are the big boys. Those are the carriers out there. But there are so many supply ships, destroyers, cruisers. You got the amphibious group that's out there as well. One or two of them as well, which has escort ships. There's submarines. There is so many sailors, marines that are out there on those ships.
If you can think about the military, you can see wherever the Navy go, they
It is.
always got Marines with them. Believe
Yeah,
that. So
absolutely,
it ain't just
absolutely.
the services of the Navy;
And
it's
so
everybody.
it is. It definitely is. And so I'm happy that battle group will be able to come home, but I still feel for the ones that are out there for this senseless war that honestly, in my opinion, we have already lost. Is just how much are we going to lose by? And it's no fault. Let me say this again: no fault of the sailors, airmen, Marines, any of our service member. It's a strategic error. I had to slow down and say it correctly. Um, Yeah. Uh Again,
Great.
I haven't said this yet. If you're watching, please hit like, please hit subscribe. Please join the conversation if you would like to. You can hit the links, whether it's on Facebook, whether it's on YouTube, to join the conversation. If you would like to, if you don't want to be seen and just want to have your voice heard, you're more than welcome to call a number at the bottom, or you can still hit those links and just not just show or hear your voice, or just say your voice, or shout it all out, as well as if you don't want to do any of that, please hit the just leave a comment. More than welcome to leave a comment about what's going on and everything. But yeah, so anyway, like we talked about last week, the Lincoln and the battle groups and all these ships have been out there for a very, very, very long time. And I just want you to know and hear what the commander in chief has to say.
Well, no, that ship is moving. No, they're not. That ship is moving right now, or very shortly, and it's being replaced with another very similar ship. No, not nearly.
Not nearly long enough. My bad. I cut it. I thought that was on there. Not
Nope.
nearly long enough. Ronnie, I'm gonna give you the floor as someone has done
Please.
multiple deployments, because
Please.
I've only done 2. So he said being out to sea, literally being out to sea since December 11th without a port call is not being out to sea
Long
long
enough.
enough. I'm gonna need to be able to see you, bro. I'm gonna need you to pull your face, see. There you go. There you go.
Yeah. So let me get to, like, I posted some things on my profile, and it was a few people that said it very eloquently. It was long. It was a long read, but it was a good read, right? And it was a lot of negative stuff was from people that were, that were prior military, or they only did like a few years in military. They ain't do all these deployments, or they may have stayed in for a little while and did some deployments, right?
Yeah.
And some of them were like on both sides of the fence, but there's obviously more to support the people here now, right? And so to get long story short, how he said it was, and I'm paraphrasing, is the people that's like for me and people that's been before me, to criticize another military veteran's feelings shows a lot about that person, right? You've been in their shoes. You don't have any empathy for these sailors or these military members. So when you were out there, somebody was probably thinking the exact same thing. You know what I mean?
Yep.
You out there serving your whole life, giving your whole life to people. And so we should be all of us should be especially ex-military, everybody really, but supporting these kids. They're going through a lot of stuff, right? They're going
Yeah.
through, oh, well, the World War II guys would probably be talking about the World War II guys would be talking about the guys in Vietnam. The guys that was in Vietnam gonna be talking about the people that was in Gulf War and all that. That's how it goes. Oh, they got it too easy. They soft and all this other stuff. These people are not soft. If you sign your name on a piece of paper and you take an oath and say, hey, I will risk my life to go out and do what less than 1% of the United States population had the galls to do.
Has done or willing to do.
Less than 1%.
That's the
So
1%.
that 1% of people that take their time out there in their lives to give away to not give away, but to utilize to support somebody else, say I go instead of somebody else, says more about them than it does about anybody, any of us, even if I've been on these deployments. I mean, I ain't been in the military for a minute, for a couple years now. You know what I'm saying? How am I gonna go in here and say what these kids shouldn't and shouldn't be doing, or how they should and shouldn't be feeling? And they should be soft. They should be harder. To da 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 da. I ain't out there.
Yep.
Who am I to want to be that person for that?
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
I just
So,
want to add. Yeah.
I'm
Go
gonna
ahead.
finish up real quick, right? Because it
Yeah.
irked me when I heard that shit. And then I read a whole bunch of this stuff, and you got the person that's in charge of the military say that dumb shit says a whole lot about their leadership style. Because if you have any gall in your damn head, one day is too long to be on a deployment. And they've been on that ship 200 plus odd days before seeing land. You know what I'm saying? They've been out there for a minute, away from their families doing this shit. And you had the gall saying it's not long fuck enough. Don't make no sense to me. And people that support, and I can't tell people who they shouldn't and shouldn't support. You look inside yourself and picture your freaking people out there and your son and daughter out there on that ship dealing with all the stuff that they're dealing with, not knowing when they're going to come home, not knowing if things are going to work correctly, and not knowing what the freaking next step is going to be if we're going to be putting boots on ground type shit. Fuck you. That's exactly how I feel right now. That's how fucking pissed off I am when I heard that bullshit. You the number one person on top of the game. You supposed to be the one yelling the loudest about we about to kill, we about to get rid of all this stuff and bring our people back. Fuck that dude, man.
No, yeah. And I'm gonna take it even a step further. We finally got what you were saying, what you said earlier about, most of the time they do stuff behind closed doors and all of this stuff.
Uh-huh.
When he said about calling people suckers and losers, that a general said that he said that to him. General Kelly, who lost a son in warfare in Afghanistan or Iraq, I can't remember which one, lost his son in battle. And he said that the President Trump said that to him. MAGA didn't believe him.
I remember.
MAGA didn't believe him.
Remember that.
When they said that he didn't want to go to acknowledge and be at the World War II memorial in Normandy because it was raining and it would mess his hair up. Those reports, MAGA didn't believe. They heard, let's start with this. They heard what he said about John McCain. I like war fighters. I like people who don't get captured. And they dismissed it. So dismiss suckers and losers.
Right.
Dismiss Normandy. Dismiss I like people who don't get captured. Then let's go to what he did in Japan when he went to go visit Japan and go to the base in Japan. And the USS John McCain is out there. Do you know what those sailors had to do? They had to cover. This is true. This is reported. This is true. This is factual. They had to cover the hull of the USS John McCain so that way Trump would not see the name and none of the sailors of the ship could wear their fucking ball caps on base while he was there. Let me say that again for those who are Navy veterans, because the Navy veterans know the ball caps that I'm talking about. When we talking about ball caps, it's the regular old cap, but it has your ship's name on it that you're able to wear instead of the white Dixie cups that you normally wear, when you got your dress uniforms and stuff on. They couldn't wear their ball caps because the commander-in-chief did not want to see the name John McCain. This is another shit that veterans dismiss.
Right.
Veterans.
Yeah, I'm with you. I remember that shit.
Time and time and time again. And then now they just dismiss this. They come up with ways to say, well, I seen some dumbass shit because I like to fight on Facebook.
Right.
Maybe all the time. Anyway, I seen some fighting with some fool who said, well, Obama had him out there for a long time. Hold on, sir. It's a difference between being out there for 9 months, extending somebody's deployment and them not hitting a protocol. Those are two separate things. Does it suck to have your deployment extended? Does it suck to leave early or come back late? Absolutely. I've done it.
Yeah.
You've done it.
100%.
I'm sure people that's watching right now have done it. But we hit ports. We had R&R. We had rest time. They had no rest time, no R&R, no ports. It's maddening.
Yep, and 250
and
plus days.
And MAGA again is dismissing it. And I'm gonna say this last before we move on to some happy good was popping. I'm gonna just say this. MAGA is treating the military the same way they treated cops and after not 9/11, January 6th. Let me say that again for those in the back who can't hear me. MAGA is treating the military, not giving a shit, as even though they said for years and years and years, our military this, our military that, yellow ribbons and all that. All of it is bullshit if you ask me. If you're okay with this and you cannot say that this is wrong, that we have a problem going on in the leadership, even if you want to get blaming on Trump, blame it on somebody. There is a problem, but to say there is no problem is a problem. So let me say this again. MAGA is treating our military no differently than they treated cops on January 6th when they was beating the shit out of them, as well as afterwards when he pardoned them on January 20th, 2025. There is no difference. There's no such thing as black to blue. You can't back the blue and then pardon the people who beat the shit out of the blue. You can't say that you care. You can't say that you care about pedophilia and you want to make sure that people that are messing with kids go to jail, and then you say, the Epstein files, we're good now. You know, Trump says we're good, we're good. None of y'all have morals. None of y'all have a backbone. None of y'all have a true north. Ideological, got to slow down and say it correctly. Ideological true north. None of you. That's where we are now. All right, so let's mix it up and go into some more. We got some more what's popping before we get into Stephen A. versus Byron Donalds. Again, if you like what you see, hit the thumbs up.
I'm
hit
here, bro.
the like, hit subscribe. No, you good. Hit the like, hit the subscribe. For those, if you want to join the conversation, you're more than welcome to. There's a link as well in the YouTube as well as on Facebook. I want to go to some good news. We had some elections that just happened in Florida and other states of the last of the primary season, and a DSA candidate just won. And for those who doesn't know what a DSA stand for, that is the Democratic Socialist Party. And so they are part of that is you would say, I guess, the head of the Democratic Socialist Party would probably be Bernie Sanders. He was the first one to run as a Democratic Socialist for national office back in 2016. And I will say I voted for him over Hillary. I wish he would have been able to win. I think he would have changed the country in dramatic ways, in a good way. He did not. Then I had to obviously back Hillary. But I wanted to big up the winner of the first statewide nominee of any state to be a Democratic Socialist to win, and her name is Angie Nixon. She's from Florida, and this is her platform, and all I'm gonna say is, don't scare me with a good time. So I will say this: there are some things on here that I kind of question and worry and wonder and worry about, but let's talk about them all. She is for Medicare for all. I'm with that, and like I told y'all last week, I believe that you will start to see people from the right, like Marjorie Taylor Greene or Tucker Carlson and others, start to be cool with Medicare for all, or some form of government option. Free childcare, free paid family leave and sick leave, national rent freeze and moratorium on evictions. I do have to pause there, just simply because the cost as a homeowner, the cost, and to be completely honest, I own rental properties as well. Those costs don't stay stagnant like the rent does, or could. Property taxes go up. So now if you want to say property taxes are frozen as well, then we can then it's something that can be talked about more. But just to say it's going to be a complete freeze or moratorium, now I can understand having incremental raises or stuff like that, or proportionary to I'm just thinking out loud, we just talking about it, proportionary to
I'm with
with the property taxes went up. I get that, and I can understand that. Stuff like that, but and moratorium on evictions, I believe that as well. As long as there's a financial need and hardship for that, yeah, I can understand moratorium for certain situations and individuals as well. But just you don't want to work anymore and you quit your job. Okay, now that's different than you were laid off by this company and stuff like that. Maybe tie it more into unemployment and stuff like that. I don't know, but maybe she has all of that in there. I'm just reading off of what her what her platform is. But in and of itself, I think it's something you can work with. Universal jobs program, got no problem with that. Tax the rich, absolutely don't have a problem with that because we we do not tax enough in this country. And yeah, it's somebody in the background just said what? Yes, we do not tax enough in this country. And I'm not specifically talking about lower income. Anybody making, I'll even say less than $1 million. I would say for the millionaires, quadruple millionaires and billionaires, they are not taxed enough, and there's so many different loopholes that they have to get away with taxes. And last but not least, one of her things on there is abolish ICE. Um, I'm for it at this point. These max people out here doing what they're doing. We didn't have ICE until 20 years ago. Let me say that again. We didn't have ICE until 20 years ago. So there's not necessarily a need that we need to have ICE. It can be incorporated in other departments to take care of the things that ICE should be taking care of, not the things that they're actually doing now. So with that being said, she won against Vindman, who was or is not say is was he is. He is a Democrat who was running for office that moved to Florida. He was one of you probably heard of his name. He was one of the people who was a witness to Trump's first impeachment when he tried to strong arm Ukraine. So he's a resistance fighter. He outspent her 17, 16, $17 to 1. She spent zero money in the state of Florida on TV ads. Zero money. And still was able to win. It was extraordinary. She definitely has the grassroots behind her. She definitely has the African American vote behind her. I worry because she is part of the Democratic Socialist Party. So when you hear socialists, Hispanics, especially Cubans, is going to flee because that is what Cuba was, or it currently is, still a socialist country. So if I'm her, I'm running to Florida, to South Florida, and camping out and getting them on board, getting the Hispanic community on board down there, and explaining why you're different from Cuba, explaining to them why it is best for them to vote for her. And I think if they do, she has a shot to win. She is a fighter, and I would just want to show, and she's talented. This is what happened earlier today, after she won on Morning Joe, and let's get it.
Your Republican opponent, Ashley Moody, already is saying the positions of the DSA and particularly of you are crazy, calling you all comrades together, et cetera. So what about abolishing prisons, which is one of the platform positions of the national DSA? Do you support that?
I don't support abolishing prisons. What I do support is abolishing for-profit prisons, because they exploit labor and they usher many of our children into the school-to-prison pipeline. Why are we incentivizing the enhancement of penalties and actually allow the enhancement of not actually allowing the education system to be successful? There has been an attack on public education here in our state and across our country, and that leads to children winding up in the school to prison pipeline.
Hello?
I don't support abolishing prisons, but I do support ending for-profit prisons, which also, when you look at it and look at some data points, you will see that there have been a lot of people that have died inside of these for-profit prisons, or you have seen there's a lot of waste and abuse and fraud within these private prisons, for-profit prisons. And so those are the types of things that I'm against.
There you go. I think that was a perfect answer to what happened here. Hold on. That was a perfect answer to her question. To the question that was asked of her. Um, I'm totally against for-profit prisons as well. I don't see why we have any of them. And I'm totally for abolishing that as well. Abolishing for-profit prisons would actually help a lot. It would make it would decentivize the not only arrest but conviction and jail time for crimes that just do not need to have jail time, you know? And I can't tell you how many countless times there has been judges who have went to jail for getting funneled money from these for-profit prisons to put people in those prisons. So I don't see an
Facts.
issue with it. I really don't with that in and of itself. And for her to be able to pivot to what she actually meant by the for-profit prisons was outstanding. So uh I, I I hope that we can get some uh some good debates out of this and she can win the Senate race. I really do. I really do. I think she could be a good person in the Senate from what I've seen so far. Next up is another feel good thing that happened today. I just wanted to talk about that. This thing right here, which is Carmelo Anthony is back in Collin County. They took him back out of prison right now. It's because he is starting his appeal process. He has new lawyers. Thank God. And today, the judge that was overseeing his case was recused by a new judge. So and a new judge will be appointed. So they had a visiting judge come in from a different county in Texas and oversee the case to see if the judge should be recused. And he agreed with Carmelo's lawyers to recuse this judge. So I think that's a good step in the right direction to getting this young man a fair trial. And that's all I'm personally asking for is a fair trial. I don't feel like he received one. But we will see what happens from there. Tomorrow, I think they actually will start on if he will get a chance to get a fair trial. I mean, yeah, get a chance to redo his trial or not. But hopefully he'll get a chance to get a different trial because it's just his lawyer was incompetent in my opinion. His lawyer was incompetent
Terrible.
and
Terrible.
and in my opinion, not legally. I'm not a legal person, but I feel like the fact that the judge is recused says a lot as well about the fairness of the trial.
Hey, babe.
Although the trial, although for full
There's more fish
transparency,
down there if you want to.
yeah, full transparency,
You need to
the
eat it.
the new judge,
It's good.
judge that the recused the other judge said that he felt that the trial was handled fairly, but his words and his interviews afterwards showed some type of bias. All right, y'all. That is what's popping. We did a good 48 minutes of what's popping, and now we about to move to the main event. The main event today is Stephen A versus
Bobby, can you hear
Donald.
me?
Yeah, I got you. Loud and clear. I got you.
Okay,
Can't,
okay. Yeah.
yeah, you're good. You're good. For those who didn't know, Stephen A was given a thumbs down this past week for by the National Black Association of Journalists for his treatment of other black journalists, in particular black women. And also Byron Donalds won his race to be the Republican nominee for governor in Florida. So we're going to discuss both those things. So we're going one after the other because I think they are both terrible when it comes to what they're doing to the black community. I feel like one is worse than the other to me, in my opinion. But I understand people who really dislike Stephen A and dislike him more. So first up, I want you guys to see the video of what the National Black Association of Journalists had to say. Or Journalists Association had to say.
Stephen A. Smith, sports analyst, and political commentator. Smith has established a recurring public pattern of disparaging commentary directed at prominent black women across politics, sports, and media. Such commentary reinforces harmful narratives, undermines the fair and respectful representation of black women in public discourse, and stands in direct conflict with NABJ's long-standing commitment to accurate, responsible, and inclusive portrayals of black communities.
They went in on him. Yeah, they went in on him. And I want to have a fair and honest debate about this. I really do hope other people call in, because I really would like to talk to other people about this. I know some people in my circle that have strong views, but they also didn't want to give this the energy, and I understand and respect that. So, but still, I know other people that watch this, and I'd like to hear your opinions on this as well, because I don't watch First Take anymore. I don't because I don't want to give Stephen A any of my views. I think the way he disparages black people at times, and the vitriol that he comes at black folks at times is definitely more than he comes at any other race, and I'll just leave it at that. However, I want to be fair to him and to Byron Donalds, and show rebuttals and stuff like that. So I wanted to play some of what Stephen A had to say on his own podcast about what happened. Let's get to it. Give me a second, y'all. So I'm gonna bring that up so that we can look at what finish no. So we can discuss it. Here we go. All right, here we go.
First off, before I say anything, I heard them loud and clear. I'm listening. I'm far from perfect, and I will always strive to do better on behalf of my community, for the journalism community, and beyond, in the days and the weeks and the years to come. But that doesn't mean that I'm not going to address what was said about me with the fervor that it deserves. Because even though I heard you, even though I am listening, even though I will always strive to do better, that doesn't negate the bullshit that the NABJ did Saturday night or Friday night, whichever night it was. I believe it was Saturday night. It is BS. And I get a lot of people want to pile on and they want to jump on it because you have your own individual feelings about me. I'm here to tell y'all are entitled to that. Not the NABJ. You're not entitled to that. This is me we're talking about here. I am the same guy that brought a nationally televised show to a journalism conference, which is the NABJ, the last 2 years. Did you have anything to say about me then? Did I get a thumbs down then? First Take, a nationally televised show, which has been #1 for 14 straight years. We came to the National Association for Black Journalists in Chicago and Cleveland, back-to-back years. Of course, I got to thank ESPN for that.
Again, if you're watching and want to join this show, come on in. We're going to have a good discussion about this.
Ones that signed off on that, specifically now former executive Dave Roberts. It doesn't happen without him. It doesn't happen without ESPN. But you know who else it doesn't happen without? Me. Because if I'm not willing to show up, we ain't coming. But I was there. I was there not just to do the show. I also stood in the booth for over an hour doing the jobs fair. I also gave a speech. I also mentored and talked to, as I continue to do, young, aspiring black journalists, and I have done that religiously for decades. I started my career at the Philadelphia Inquirer. I know it's the New York Daily News as a high school reporter, but thereafter, in 1994, I began my career at the Philadelphia Inquirer, courtesy of Sandra Long, a longtime executive for the Philadelphia Inquirer, synonymous with the NABJ, whom I first met at the jobs fair of the NABJ. My career started because I was at the NABJ job fair. And yet, Saturday night, I saw the president of the organization, Erin Haynes, go up on stage and give me a thumbs down award for disparaging black women. Mm-hmm. I received a lot of insults in my day. That might be the lowest. I'll address that in a second.
So I'm gonna just stop it there for now. I understand where in my opinion, when it comes to Stephen A. Hold on, let me go back to stop sharing. All right, when it comes to Stephen A. I feel like, and we're gonna get into it further. He has, to be fair, he has put a lot of black people on. He has, and I'll even say this: he continues to do so. But I think he feels that gives him a blank check to spew disparaging things against not just black people, but disparaging things that hurt us. And he gets to say, well, it's okay because I'm real because I put all these black people on. Like that's his get out of jail free card is how I look at it. And I think I truly do believe that he wants to help black people achieve higher things. I'm not saying that he doesn't. I truly do believe that he do. And I think he tries to do that. However, again, I feel like he feels that gives him the ability to say crazy shit out his neck and think he's okay because, hey, I took care of y'all over here.
Right.
What do you think, Ronnie?
I listened to what he said, and I see points that he made, and I can see the points to where people are going to always look at other folk and say something different, or they don't agree with what they got to say. But what's the number one rule of journalism, or what's the first right? People pretty much say what they want. For your second, you can basically say what you want, right? Yeah, you
No, you can't say what
you
you
want.
want,
It's freedom of speech. It's freedom of speech. You can basically say what you want,
say
right?
whenever they want
So,
to say it,
Stephen A. He said something.
There's consequences come with that, though.
No. Listen, words matter. I am 100% with you. 100%. Does he say some jacked up stuff? Absolutely. Does he say some things like, man, why would you say something so stupid? Absolutely. Am I a big Stephen A. fan? No, I don't follow Stephen A. Smith like that. All I see is him yelling most of the time. You know what I'm saying? He's been in the game for a long time. No, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying he's not a great journalist, because I'm sure he is, because he's been doing it for a long time. And he got a
Oh, he
very
was.
big I'm not disparaging that at all. He an educated dude too, so it ain't that. And he helped folk. I get that. But people ultimately have to think to themselves, like, if you allow somebody to say whatever it is that they want to say, and it affects you in a way that you say, damn, that could have hurt somebody. But it didn't.
Mhm.
All it did was hurt them. And then they get the backlash from it. Then they don't know why it's a backlash when they say, hey, what happened
Yeah.
to my freedom of speech? Type shit.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? You don't got to.
Yeah.
I don't agree with shit. Think about the person that's in charge of our country right now, and think of the things that he said about pretty much everybody: dead people, crippled people. It didn't matter. You know what I'm saying? Women, black, white, whatever it is. The people say whatever they. If the leader of the freaking free world can basically do and say what they want with no repercussion, hey,
Wait,
do what you
but
do,
he
homie.
not that,
But you're gonna pay it. But you're gonna pay a price like he's doing.
yeah.
That's why
Yeah.
he got the
Yeah.
thumbs down. That's why he got the
Yeah.
thumbs down award. He can't be mad about that. He should
Yeah.
have took it
I
as
agree.
they should have took it as a wake up call and say, "Listen, bro, we watching you.
Yeah.
What you
I
say,
want
what
to
you say matters."
I want to show one more thing before I go to some of the
Yeah,
rebuttals. And because I really want to get to my
I'm
girl
still
Jamel
here.
Hill. No, that's
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. She
Um,
from the crib.
yeah, I know. She Detroit. She represents Detroit to the fullest. I
Mhm.
want because I do have. I agree with Stephen A. on this one point. Oh, hold on, I gotta get back to it. Uh, I do agree with Stephen A. on one point and one
Stephen A.
point
Smith,
only, and
sports
that
analyst.
point is I feel like when he asked somebody to come on his air to the president, the female president to come on his air, she should have went on his
Mhm.
air. Because
Mhm.
you
I
put it
agree.
in a public, so put it out there. Put it out there. You ready to talk about it. So I just wanted to give him
That
the opportunity to
stage.
say that.
Do
I
you know what
agree.
she said to me, ladies and gentlemen?
100%.
She'd rather have a private off the air conversation first. Oh, really? So you can go on a public platform, denigrate me, make these accusations against me without calling. But when I challenge you to come on here face to face and have a conversation with me, now we want a private conversation. Before, nah, I will never speak to her because the deed is done. I was reachable. Roland Martin has my number. They could have gotten it from him. The Sports Task Force, those are my brothers. Gary Howard, Rob Parker, Leon Carter, Marcus Spears. List goes on and on.
He's very close.
Galen Gordon, let me not forget him. Whole bunch of people. All of these people. I'm always there and will always be there for the students.
Mhm.
I just
Right.
wanted to stop because like I can tell to be completely honest, and this is why I'm spoiler alert, I'm gonna let you guys know why I feel like Byron Donalds is way worse than Stephen A. Smith, in my opinion. I detest that human being.
Mhm.
I refuse. I learned a long time ago, honestly, for transparency during my divorce that um hate hate lets other people control you
Facts.
without them even knowing it. So I don't hate
Mhm.
anybody in this world, and I'll never say that I hate anybody. And when I say it, I bring it right back because like, whoa, that ain't what I mean. However, but I do have other adjectives. Um, I detest Byron Donalds. But Stephen A, I can tell it hurt him because I think he truly cares about the organization. I think he truly cares about black journalism. I think he truly cares about helping people achieve more I think he lost his way, to be honest with you. I think he has visions of grandeur that has taken him to a place where he no, I'm not even gonna do that because that'll be blasphemy. I'm gonna just say he don't know what he do. I'm gonna just leave it at that. Okay, like
Man,
he
please.
doesn't realize he isn't he's not in a space where he can understand. Maybe I ain't gonna say he can understand because he's a very intelligent human being, and very accomplished. So I'm not gonna say he ain't gonna understand. I think he has other aspirations where it is blinding him to realizing he is become a detriment to all of the things that he is actively trying to help. And that's the part that's so crazy. I do believe that on one hand, he's trying to help black people and get them up in different ways
Mm-hmm.
because in other parts in the thing he said in there, where he talked about how he is got green lights for pilots and other shows, and he just got a deal for HBCUs to highlight and show basketball games for them, and he's going to need talent for that, and he's going to produce like and of course he's going to take care of people. However, his super ambitions of thinking maybe I can be president one day, or maybe the aspirations of adulation from people he don't need to have adulation from is taking him down a path where he doesn't need to be going. And so for me, on Cowboy Keith, what is he saying? R. Kelly, Bill Cosby, Stephen A. Smith. God damn. All right. All right. All right. All right. Let's see what else Cowboy Keith got to say. Freedom of speech does not mean freedom of consequence. I agree with you 1000%. 1000%. A good man will self-reflect, and I agree with that. A good journalist would have asked to meet with NBAJ and discuss it openly. And I agree, but he was willing to discuss it openly. The president of the NBJ did not want to discuss it openly. Um, and again, I think and what I hope happens from this is he gets a chance to really self-reflect. And I want to go to some of the other videos I have, simply because it continues to give a fair assessment of what happened and what's going on. But before we go there, I gotta say this. Stephen A. Smith has one of the biggest platforms of all of media. And he could have came to my little baby podcast and we would have had a hell of a good time. And us and the shipmates would have had some questions for him and stuff like that. And I would have been nervous. I would have been sweating, but we would have got through it, right? He could have went to Don Lemon, who I respect. He could have went to a bunch of other people. Roland Martin, who you said has your number. You could have went straight to Roland. Who's in the ABGA. I know about to mess up the name again. He's in an organization. You could have went there. Instead, he went here. So let's watch it and see where he went for his first interview after
Fox News.
his thumbs down from National Black Journalists Association.
Right.
Now,
Knew it.
doesn't this have to do specifically with
Knew it.
your criticism of radical people on the left?
Did exactly
And
what
you
they say
did
he's gonna
mention
do.
a couple of African-American women at times. Jasmine Crockett, who says nutty things. Joy Reid, who says, in my view, nutty things. Is that what this is about?
I think it is. I don't think there's any question about it, and that's why I spoke out against it, because I think it's utterly ridiculous. I was raised by 5 black women. My mother, God rest her soul, and my 4 older sisters. I have 2 daughters. I have 10 nieces. I don't know what the hell they're talking about. I find it highly offensive that they would label me in this way. Give me a thumbs down award specifically for disparaging black women. I want everybody out there to know there's no such thing. That did not happen. That is a flat-out lie. And that never happened. Whether it was Jasmine Crockett, whether it was Kamala Harris, whether it was Michelle Obama, I pointed to something that they said that I may have disagreed with. That is all. That is all that I have done. And to enjoy
you said about
Reid,
Michelle
her
Obama,
as well.
She could win. That's what I remember you saying about her.
Yeah, but what? No. Yeah, but remember what happened was that I said that I did not appreciate her saying that a vote for Donald Trump was a vote against women, because I said there are a plethora of reasons why people go to a poll. Some people might prioritize the economy, immigration, safety in the streets of America, national security, etc. There are a plethora of reasons why somebody would choose to vote. To sit up there and to say to African American men that a vote for Donald Trump would be a vote against women, I said, I don't think that's fair. And that's what I said. My point is, whether you agree or disagree, how does the word disparaging come into play? Or to talk about me degrading and denigrating black women? No, I had a difference of opinion about something that they may have said. And that is all. But a journalistic organization that's supposed to, its foundation is supposed to be based on objectivity. And most importantly, uplifting African Americans within the journalism industry. Well, excuse me, what have I accomplished in my career? Where am I sitting at right now? On September 29th, I'm about to be inducted into the Broadcast and Cable Hall of Fame. I've established myself as one of those people in this industry, but I'm not a Hall of Famer for the NABJ. I brought for my national television show, First Take from ESPN, in concert with ESPN and the great bosses that I have. We brought First Take, a nationally televised show, every weekday morning from 10 a.m. to 12 noon on ESPN. We brought it to the NABJ conference. When have you seen a nationally televised show broadcasting live from a journalism convention? I did it the last 2 years in Chicago and Cleveland, respectively. But I don't show up this year, and all of a sudden I receive a thumbs down award. I think it's utterly ridiculous, and I called them on it.
So that again, why he gotta go to Fox News?
Turn that.
Oh,
Of course he was gonna do that.
Yeah, your
Can you hear me
camera's
now?
off. Yeah, I hear you, but your camera's off.
I can see you fine.
Yeah, I can't. Well, I can't see you. I'm gonna play one more video so you can see this next video, because this is Jamil starting to address him. So now we about to get into another part of this, because again, how do you go? How if you are that close with Roland Martin, he got your number, stuff like that. Go to Roland show. Go to Roland show. Go to. You don't go to Sean Hannity. You don't go to the white supremacy channel. And again, people probably are looking at me like, what do I mean by white? If you watch Fox News enough, you'll see it. It's pretty simple. It's pretty evident. And I'm gonna just let Jamil talk to you about it. So here go Jamil talking about it.
Was different than it is now. And they were always to the right.
Talking about Fox News.
But now they're just in fantasy land. Like, that's not even a news organization to me. That is like state propaganda media.
Facts.
And I can tell you the last appearance I made on Fox was when Sean Taylor was murdered. And I was on with Bill O'Reilly. And Bill O'Reilly said something so out of pocket about Sean Taylor. I, of course, challenged him on it on air. And I told the producer after that, don't ever call me again. I will never appear on this network. And I have not appeared on that network since. And so you can look up the year Sean Taylor was murdered. That's the last year I was on Fox News. And there is nothing that would ever get me to go on Fox News in its current form. Nothing. I don't care if somebody said the fate of the world depends on you going on Fox News to talk about, we could be talking about chimneys. We could be talking about bunny rabbits. If the fate of the world depended on me going on that network to talk about those things, y'all would be dead. I'll be totally honest. Y'all would
10 toes
be dead.
down.
So why, in general, it's a lot. The question is, again, not up to me to tell you who to be friends with. But this is a network whose entire positioning in the marketplace is not only anti-journalism, it's anti-black, it's anti-everything. And that guy in particular is one of the ringleaders.
Yep.
So to talk about what black people did to you, you go on the most anti-black network on network television to discuss it.
Right.
And that right there is why people are like,
that's facts.
Can I do a side eye? People are like doing this.
There you go.
That's why.
There you go.
That is exactly why. Again, It's a free world. You are free to go on whatever program you like, be friends with whoever you like, but you cannot fault people for then looking at you quite skeptically when this happens. Especially knowing the program.
No, she said enough. You said, listen, that's it. 100%.
That's it.
Listen.
And that was afterwards, but I still got some more stuff before that. But go ahead. What you want to say?
No, as soon as you,
before you go, I want to say this. If you're watching right now, please hit like, please hit subscribe, please share this if you're watching on Facebook. If you're on YouTube, hit like, subscribe. If you would like to join the pod, you're more than welcome to. We got the links on Facebook and as well as YouTube. Hit the like and subscribe again. If you got something, if you want to come on, hit the chat button. I'm hoping to hit because I want others to really join into this conversation because I think it's something to talk about. You know, a few weeks ago, I wanted to get into Mr. Tatum because I never call him officer because I don't respect him as a human either. He's another one. And I really need to dive in and just have a whole conversation about all of them because it's so many to count. Like I listened to Jason Whitlock today. Oh God. Anyway, but like, subscribe, join the conversation any way that you feel the need to join it. All right, Ronnie, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, bro. Like I said, I know you got other stuff. I'm gonna make it quick. You had said it in the beginning, and before I hadn't even know he went on and did an interviews today. And what did I say? Fox News. That's not a everybody knew he was going. Like that's the whole point. Camilla was saying, she was saying that specifically. What you said is like, bro, you don't even see how jacked up you are.
Yeah.
And then you get on these, and then you wonder why people look at you that way. Now you kind of, hopefully, he can understand. Like, whoa, you really did that?
Yeah.
We in the house with our, and you gonna do that with them people over there?
Yeah.
Man,
that's what you ran. The black people hurt your feelings. I'm running a Fox News. Who says that? Who says that? I'd rather you put one of your sisters on there and y'all talk about it. That's what I'd rather you had done. Talk with your therapist. You ran a Sean Hannity? Sean Hannity? And you think that was going to be okay? That was going to absolve you. I said that correctly. You heard that shit? Oh, man. That was going to absolve you of whatever issues we got of you.
And then it just shines a bigger light.
Yes. So now I want to play this. This is the last video of Stephen A. before we start to drag Byron Donalds because I want to drag this month. Anyway, so this is, and I think honestly, again, this is a very fair assessment of the Stephen A. who he is because I truly do believe that he wants to uplift black people. I do believe that. I do believe that portion. And if you disagree with me, put it in the comments or call. But I just wanted to play this last video and talk about it on the other side.
A little nuance, okay?
Yeah.
Now, has Stephen A. been have the criticisms of Stephen A. been unfair? The answer is no. I think they've been completely fair, and I think a lot of them have been valid in terms of, as I was talking about, that different energy and trying to understand where that comes from. And I think politically, people definitely have a problem with how he's used his platform and who he has platformed on his platform. Yeah. And, you know, kind of the circles that he seems to be ingratiating himself with. It leaves a little, you know, it leaves one to raise the eyebrows and say, okay, what's really going on here? You know, you're flirting with running for president. We know that you're friends with some interesting people, to say the least. And I don't want to be getting into business of judging people by their friend groups, but I think people can see the dynamic of what's unfolding and saying, like, who is he trying to ingratiate himself to and why? So there's that component of it, which I think those are fair observations and criticism.
I do judge people by their film group.
Okay. All right. I mean, that's, I understand, you know.
Yeah. It says a lot about.
I just want to pause there for a second because I just realized that's a great subject to talk about is can we judge people by their friend groups? I think you can. I truly do. I absolutely think you can because Well, I don't know. Maybe now I'm thinking about it. I think you can.
What they
Like you
say?
can't
What
really
what
say
they say?
about it.
What they
But
say? Something about flock. Something flock
because
together.
yeah, people flock
What's that
together.
saying?
People flock together. But I can understand it
What
when
is
you
it
when
saying?
you are younger. I can understand it
Yeah,
when you're.
that's it.
I say it like this. I think the best way to describe it is like this. I think when you're in your 20s, especially early 20s, you still figuring yourself out. You still figuring out. You still. I ain't gonna say learning right from wrong, but you're learning what is worth doing and what's not doing. I'll say it that way. You know what's right and wrong, but
Mm.
you know is this worth taking this chance of getting the consequence for this, or is it not? However, as you get older, then I can judge you, especially when you're into your late 30s and 40s. When you're in your 40s, your friend group, you are who you are.
Mm-hmm.
Period. That
Mm-hmm.
was a side note. That was a side note. I'm sorry, y'all. I
We
just
still
thought that
changing.
we gotta talk about it. We gotta talk about it. What do you think about the friend group thing? I think that would be a good conversation,
Yeah,
man, Ronnie.
like my babe said, man, birds of a feather flock
Yeah,
together.
yeah, yeah,
That's a
yeah.
fact. That's been an old school saying for ever. So
Absolutely.
that is an absolute truth. If you think about the people that you surround yourself with,
Absolutely.
constant on a constant basis,
Yeah. Yeah.
that's
And it
usually what
doesn't
you're going
just
to get judged for.
and it isn't just one of those things societal where it comes where, how you think, whatever like that, but it comes with income wise too.
Mhm.
It's
No, fact. That's a fact.
it's an
Yeah,
entire
socially. Yeah, 100%.
socially thing. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
All right. Let's finish this and then we're gonna get into Byron.
You
I'm a
are.
serial
All
killer.
right.
Y'all be looking at me crazy too. I got it.
Right,
Like
exactly.
I
I got it.
understand. So
Yeah.
I get that, and I think those are fair criticisms and observations.
Mhm.
But here's where it gets to me a little thorny. Yes, it is true that First Take, you mentioned this, they brought the show to NABJ. Part of that is because Stephen A has exhibited an actual commitment to Black journalism. He's an HBCU graduate. He's taken the show on the road, as in First Take, to many HBCUs. And while he wasn't the first show at ESPN to do that, my show actually was. But when I had his and hers, we went to Howard's Homecoming and did a big show. But that's okay. That's neither here nor there. It's not about me. But he has done that. And knowing a little bit with how he operates his show, there are Black people that work on his show that he has actively, intentionally hired to bring Black folks at the producer level, at other levels in our industry, to bring them into the fold. There are a lot of Black people who can say, Stephen A. helped me with my career. That Stephen A., he elevated me in this way. When he had his show, quite frankly, on ESPN, it is true, he created a segment strictly for Black voices on his show because there wasn't a lot of Black columnists. I was one of the Black columnists that appeared on his show. Me, Rob Parker, Gary Howard. It was very few of us. Stephen A., it is true, gave us a platform to do those things. So while I do understand that how he has done and moved and operated in certain ways has gone against the mission of NABJ, and that thumbs down award, that is what it is supposed to address, I do think the body of work should matter. And Stephen A. does not have a lengthy track record, I think, of going against the core and the root of what Black journalism is. And while I don't like a lot of the things that he has said, I also cannot absolve or cannot erase the contributions he's made, both as a Black journalist himself and also as somebody who has tried in many instances to use his position to help other Black journalists.
Okay. Completely fair. And nuance, which people don't like in this day and age. It's just like, it's not like the Black journalists were calling him, the sellout or, the Uncle Tom or the coon, right? No, they weren't doing that.
Do. I mean, some people do.
No.
Like that's
Some people do. But I'm saying NABJ was not doing that.
NABJ
Basically,
did
they
not
were
do
saying
that.
what he's doing on the air is not good or detrimental to Black people and Black journalists. That's their opinion. They can do it. They're an organization. They are Black journalists. Okay, a Black journalist organization. However, he thinks what he's doing for the Black community is you're more in line. You're saying basically what he has said before about the Black community. But I think sometimes people can be too close to it and they can't see the forest for the trees. I have been there. I'm sure you have been there. And sometimes it takes a person who is your friend, or maybe not so much your friend, to say, hey, look, what are you doing? Can you see yourself? I've had those moments with Spike. I've had those moments with Spike will say, hey man, look, let me see. I've had those moments with DL. DL and I are dear friends now. We toured together, right? We didn't always see eye to eye, but sometimes you got to let your ego go and go, okay, what am I not seeing? And perhaps I am too close to the corporation, if you know what I'm saying.
I do.
You know what I mean? Because if you're a journalist, pretty much you should not be so aligned to the corporation. That is not your job. Your job is to disseminate factual information. Your job is to be a good communicator. Your job is to inform and enlighten. And in many ways, if you're a Black journalist, your job is to offer opportunities to other Black journalists if you're in a position like Stephen A. Smith, and also to be able to bring those conversations to the fore, to be able to bring the nuance to the fore without sounding like you are, hey man, you know what I'm saying? It's like, that's my thing.
Right.
That I just like, because all in the way that you say it. But and so let me say this. I want to play this because he says, oh, I'm blah, blah, blah.
All right, so that was really it. One thing that I didn't add into this was Jamil said that Black journalists have been trying for a long time and have been talking to him behind the scenes, not been trying to get a hold of him. They have been talking to him behind the scenes about what he's been saying, and he's been still going full bore. I did not add that into the videos. Cowboy Keith, let's address that for a second. What you said. He said, disagree a little. Some people you associate with is to help them and pull them up. I absolutely agree. I have friends that are not what society would call good, but are trying to improve. May not be the closest, but a friend. I agree. So I think we are arguing over semantics. I'll say it like that.
Right.
And the reason why I'm saying that is there are friends and there are friends or close friends. Maybe that's close friends. Add the word close. You know, and I'll even say family. Like I got a family member that I do things for when I can, and they are a menace to society. I'm gonna just leave it at that. You know what I mean? Like not a that the world would say is not a good human. I ain't gonna say the world would say. I would say is not a good human being. Like the shit that he did is terrible. It's fucking terrible. But I'll send him the clothes I can't wear no more. You know what I'm saying? Like I'll do that. I'll take his phone call occasionally, not all the time, but just enough that I give him human love. Not like if you understand what I'm saying. Maybe a love not the I hope you understand what I'm saying here. And
Yeah.
so
I'm with you.
I get what you're saying, Keith. There, I absolutely do. But it's still like what we talking about is who you going to the club with?
Right.
Who
Your
who
people.
are you? And yeah, who are you inviting to the house that you know I'm good? I can leave and come back. Everything will be exactly the same spot that it was when I left.
Mm-hmm.
That's your family, and I started to say it correctly. That's your family. That ain't your friends. That's your. I mean, like, and what I mean by that is, like, we are not blood, you and me, Ronnie, but we family.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
100%.
me. If I come here, if my son
Stop
came
it.
there,
You already know the
know,
rules.
it's all good. It's all good, and that's where I think the what we're talking about there is if it's people that you still hang with tough. If it's people that you still hang with tough, I think that's where people got to question you. If you
Mm-hmm.
still hang with people that ain't in the right places, like constantly making bad decisions. That's the best way to describe it. Bad people make bad decisions constantly. Constantly. Not every once in a while, constantly. Then you got to question the people that they're around. All right, Cowboy Keith, I'm gonna need you to come on. Here we go. Here we go. This is what you said here. Don Lemon would have once thought hanging out with DL would make you a bad person. Now look, and he said that, and he said that he has said that he was wrong. He had to have conversations with him and stuff like that. But again, I think that'll be a great conversation to have, a great pod to have, is to talk about our friends, past and present, and how we got to where we are. Because we all grow as people and as humans, to a different level. With all that being said, I think it's now to drag the shit out of Byron Donalds. Now that we got Stephen A out the way, let me start with for me. This is my podcast, so I'm gonna just tell you my opinion right off the bat, and I hope it don't change any minds, but I'm gonna just tell you how I feel. Byron Donalds is way fucking worse, and it's not even close to me. Especially it's really not even close to me, and the reason why is I believe Stephen A wants black people to be in a better place. I think he loved black people. I think he want black, especially black journalism. Look. What happened to him this weekend hurt his fucking heart. He don't know how to deal with it. He's treating it like how Trump would treat some shit that happened to him, where I got to keep going ball to the wall. He shouldn't with the Fox News. All these things we talked about, he shouldn't have done. Byron Donalds is no longer black to me. He is not. He is black by color. His words ain't black. His actions ain't black. In fact, his actions are worse. His actions are worse than what his words are the same as Stephen A. I'll say it like that. They both bring comfort to white superiority and people that think that, oh, it's not that bad. Oh, look at this black man saying what makes us feel good. Their words are the same, but their actions, even though, again, I'm not excusing it. I'm not saying Stephen A is right, because he's not right. He is not right. But he do bring up black people. Byron closed the bridge. And we're going to talk about that here in a second. Byron, again, closed
Pulled up the ladder.
He pulled up the ladder. He pulled up the ladder and said, like Clarence. Clarence is no different than me. Here we go. Ship hasn't even said anything, and I agree with 100% on Byron Donalds. What the fuck? Yeah. Like Byron Donalds, and it's not even close. He is terrible. Again, I don't hate any individual, but I detest detest that human being. Okay, y'all. I mean that from the bottom of my heart. And I'm gonna give you the first example, and I'm gonna tell you this before I even put it on here. I invited this individual because this individual, and I told him, he is trying to make a name in the same space that Byron Donalds and all these other black individuals that are trying to be on the right, because it's much easier because let's be real, like, I ain't no different than anybody other black folks that have the same opinion as us. So I got a lot more talent, a lot more people that got more time, more talent, more expertise in the community of podcasts and stuff like that to fight through. But if I was on here as a black man saying, oh, you know what, yeah, but, white people are right about this, or this, that, and all of the shit that they say, I will shoot up the charts. I will shoot up the charts, but I'm not going to do that. I would never sell my soul for this shit. And I didn't say that this brother selling his soul, but I told him, you on the other side, let's come talk about it. Let's have this conversation. So this is what he posted on his Twitter. And like I said, I invite him again today to come on here. Congratulations, Byron Donalds. And this is why I detest Byron more than Stephen A. I guess Republicans don't hate black people because they elected a black man to run for the GOP stronghold in the state of Florida. It's about policy, ideas, faith, values, and culture. So let me break this down for you because that's all we needed to see with that bullshit. Again, my brother, because he has watched, because he told me he's watched. He's been watching the pod. Come on. Hit the link. Come on, and we can have a serious discussion about it, about this and anything else you want to talk about.
Please do.
Byron Donalds not only gives people a way out to say, see, we not the only ones. Look at this black man saying the same things that we do. But he gives them an avenue to vote for them. So it makes them feel good by hearing his voice and hearing the same things that they want to hear. But then he says, hey, vote for me. Vote for me. And when you vote for me, you really can't be racist then because you just voted for a black man. You just voted for a black man. Fun fact, y'all. Y'all probably didn't even know this. Every black Republican in the Congress this past, I'm gonna just go with factual. This past Congress were in white majority districts. Let me say that again. Every black Republican member of Congress was elected by a white majority district. So y'all think that that's by happenstance? So that's where we starting with Byron Donalds. Not only does he make you feel good, he makes you be able to prove it by saying, I voted for a black man. Now we're going to go into why I really detest this human being. Because I think now is the time to go into who Byron Donalds is. Hold on, I got an Amber Alert, y'all. I got to cut this off real quick. All right, we good. Let's go into who Byron Donalds is. Byron Donalds, because this got to set up for what I'm about to show y'all. First off, let me start with this. We all was young. We all made mistakes. We know me and you done talked about this many times on this pod. Me, you, and others done talked about this pod on many times how we made mistakes and growing up and
Many
stuff like
times
that.
for sure.
made mistakes and stuff. So now I'm going to go into Byron Donalds. 1997 marijuana charge at the age of 18. Donalds was arrested in Florida for misdemeanor marijuana charges. He entered a pretrial diversion program, paid a $150 fine. Upon the successful completion of the program, prosecutors dismissed the charge, resulting in no criminal conviction. Donalds has since stated in interviews that he sold marijuana at the same time. Again, no judgment. It ain't about judgment. I'm just reading his background. 2000, so that's 97, 2000, felony charge. Donalds was arrested on a felony charge involving a scheme with bad checks and his bank debit card. He entered a plea of no contest, served probation, and paid restitution. Because adjudication was withheld and he completed probation, the case was subsequently sealed and expunged. When Byron Donalds joined Congress, he didn't vote for. Let me say this again. He did not vote for this. He authored. For those of y'all who don't know, he wrote the fucking bill. The DC Crimes Act What this bill does is limit the age because DC had it where because you formally don't form, and I'm not even going to trip off of the 24 to 18 that where you're not considered an adult till you was 25 to 18. But it creates mandatory sentences for kids at 18. Not to mention, it restricts young adults from utilizing alternative youth sentencing paths that allow records to be expunged or sealed upon successful completion of court-ordered programs. The fucking
That's
man
pulling the ladder up.
literally wrote a
Pull the ladder
bill,
up.
pulled the ladder up, and and as eloquently as I just said it, I have somebody that can say it better than me.
Possession. As an adult, yet younger than 24, he was charged with and ultimately placed on probation for felony bribery charges, which ultimately were 2 expunged. He was given a 3rd chance, and now he's the...
In this powerful video, Think Big reacts to a fiery House debate over the D.C. Crimes Act, a bill that exposes the deep hypocrisy of politicians who benefited from mercy, yet now seek to deny it to others. We break down what this bill really means for justice in America, why second chances matter, and how political double standards continue to define our laws. Join us as we unpack one of the most revealing moments on the House floor.
As I sat and listened to the beginning of this debate, my heart simply broke.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise today in strong support of my bill, H.R. 4922, the D.C. Crimes Act. Rather than prioritizing the safety of law-abiding and protecting the lives of innocent residents and visitors, district officials have actively facilitated dysfunction and chaos through their progressive soft-on-crime policies. Instead of addressing the clear epidemic of youth crime in the city, the D.C. City Council increased the age of youth offenders to individuals 24 years old and younger, meaning fully grown legal adults in the District of Columbia can receive sentences meant for children. This is simply insane, and that is why I introduced the D.C. Crimes Act, which lowers the definition of youth from under the age of 25 to under the age of 18, removes the ability of judges to sentence youth offenders below mandatory minimum guidelines, and requires the D.C. Attorney General to establish a public website containing much-needed statistics on juvenile crime in D.C. The Trump administration's efforts have shown that lawlessness is a choice, and it is time for Congress to step up, adhere to our constitutional duty, and firmly address crime in the nation's capital.
Many people know me for being able to do alliterations, and all I could think about was amnesia allows adolescent accountability avoidance, agility from across the aisle. So work with me for a second. Imagine being a young man born to Jamaican and Panamanian parents who messed up not once, but twice. Imagine standing in front of a judge with your whole future hanging in the balance, and instead of prison, you are given a promise of mercy. Your record gets wiped clean. You get a second chance at life. Now imagine taking that promise and turning it into promotion. You go to college, you get a job, and even become a member of Congress. That's what redemption looks like. That's what America is supposed to be about. And that is exactly the story of the next wannabe governor from Florida. As a young man, he went through pretrial diversion for misdemeanor marijuana possession. As an adult, yet younger than 24, he was charged with and ultimately placed on probation for felony bribery charges, which ultimately were 2 expunged. He was given a 3rd chance, and now he's the face of a bill that would not afford young people in Washington, D.C. the same opportunities afforded to him. Let me be real. If he had grown up under Donald Trump's America or under the very D.C. crime bill he's pushing today, he wouldn't be standing here as a member of Congress. He'd still be living with the weight of those charges. So let's call this what it is, opportunities for me, but not for thee. He climbed the ladder of redemption, and now he's yanking it right up from the D.C. youth. See, most of us were taught to lift as you climb, but clearly some have forgotten to lift as they climb, and now they are committed to telling the next generation to pull themselves up by their bootstraps. I will not sit quiet while a man who was saved by grace turns around and tries to snatch grace away from others. If we're going to be real about crime, about communities,
time
about
has expired.
I'd like to yield for an additional minute, please.
Gentlewoman is recognized.
about second chances and even third chances, then it needs to start with us looking in the mirror and remembering that even the author of this bill has a story too before he tries to lecture DC on safety. And
Again, he created this bill. That would have hurt him growing up.
Right.
And
Right.
and this is why, because a lot of y'all know already, everybody probably watching already know, that is why I created my nonprofit. I created my nonprofit to build a bigger ladder, to find the kids and to find the people that I did not know even existed that wanted to be able to be where I'm at today. And luckily, through the grace of God, I created that friend group. I created that family. I created, and hopefully we're still working on grants and stuff like that, and other avenues, and got a great partner in the tutor, Mr. Andy. Mr. Andy's outstanding. To help those. So for this fuck, because it really bothers me, for this guy to pull the ladder up behind him, and he knows what he's doing. And he knows
He
what that
100%
can
knows.
get. Yeah, he knows what he's doing.
100%.
He's worse. He is worse than Stephen A to me. He just, and again, tomato, and me and my brothers can continue to argue and fight over this, and anybody else want to argue and fight over it. But this individual and people like him that literally Stephen A can make us look back. He can make people that need to hear what he wants to the shit that is disparaging to white people, disparaging to us, feel good, but he don't make the laws to change shit.
Right.
He don't make the laws to change shit. He is literally making laws to hurt the very existence that he has, that he came up from. I will never, I would never be able to sit at a table with him. I feel like I can sit at a table with Stephen A and tell him where he went wrong at. Find it in his heart, because you can clearly see, to me, I feel like I can see it in Stephen A where he thinks that he's doing good, but I realize he's doing bad. It's a certain standpoint. Byron Donalds don't give a fuck. And people like Byron Donalds don't give a fuck. They are just there, and they are about the grift. They are about making as much money and getting as much power as possible, and they don't give a shit who they step on.
He Keenan.
Stephen A got ambition, but he still want to pull people up. He don't understand that
Yeah.
he pulling people up on one side of the ladder and throwing them back down on the other.
Right, he Keenan.
There is no, the ladder is gone with Byron. Go ahead.
No, you're right. Byron is Canaan, bro. If you think about it, Byron is a Canaan. Like, because Canaan don't give a damn about who he hurt, about nobody's feelings. As long as he get what he got, it is what it is. So it's been like that for the dawn of time where people got people of their kind, bro. To just get left back there, bro. Cause they don't listen. They want to stay. You can't listen. If they want to be where they want to be at, be over there with your people. But if he's in the position, he knows it. He knows exactly what he's doing too.
Yeah, he knows exactly what he's doing.
You in a position. You in a position where you got the ladder, and there's people down there, and you like, screw them. I don't give a damn about that. Where that ladder gonna go?
Because there's a difference there. Again, I can't say no. Stephen A still got the ladder down there. He still got the ladder down there, but he don't realize that once they get up on the platform, you throwing them back off. But you still got the ladder down there, and it hurts you that you got that because you're not getting you're not getting acknowledgement of having the ladder still down there, not realizing that you're throwing people off the fucking platform once they get up to the top.
Right. That's a good analogy.
Byron Donalds
Don't give a damn.
literally Byron Donalds is worse. He is voluntarily pulling the ladder up on his own to better his position. That is weird. That to me again is the difference. Stephen A. All along the way, including Jamil Hill. I mean, people say it. It's too many people that rock with Steve before this to say he's constantly has been there, including my brother. I try to get him to come on to tell his story of Stephen A. That he is constantly, and my brother got as many viewers as I had. You know what I mean? Like I'm gonna say that because I'm his big brother. Because I always better. Anyway, but and he met Stephen A. by happens chance at a Sixers game or some game, and Stephen's like, yeah, I'll come on your show, and went on the show. Like I feel it in his heart. He just lost his fucking way. How do we get him back? Hopefully this is enough. This is his rock bottom to get him into a place where he understands and realize, holy shit, where I done got too much money. I done became too famous. Oh, hold on. I think we done spoke the man up. We done spoke brother Ronald. Hold on.
To send a voicemail, press 2.
All right, can Ronald? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right, Ronald. Ronnie, can you hear him?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, you on, Ronald? Thank you for joining the show.
So, all right, with Stephen A. Smith,
cut your TV down so that way it ain't no back folks. I heard your TV.
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I got you.
Away from it.
Yeah, I got you.
So overall, with Stephen A., it's tough for me with him because I agree. At one point, able to start a sports talk radio show based in Philly, where it was me and another black co-host. We're the only black co-hosts, mainly during drive time as well, but we were on an off-brand station. And we happened to get a partnership with the Ed Snyder Youth Hockey Foundation. And they got us into the Sixers complex and Phillies as well. And trying to grow the station, meeting great sports writers and, helping out here and there. But to meet Stephen A. at the time was a big figure for me. I will admit, watching him coming up in the Enquirer and having a black journalist with a voice in the Enquirer in a way that he grew to television and everything from there. And then he got on ESPN and kind of blew up from there. And, I met him more around the time right before he really took off. Mm-hmm. And he was like, yeah, I'll come on your show. And him getting on my show was like probably my biggest sports talk accomplishment, to get someone that big. Now, mind you, I've also interviewed Shaq, was there with LeBron, was there when Allen Iverson came back, was in the locker room when the Flyers went to the Stanley Cup. Like, I was doing all of that, but to get Stephen A. to get on my show and tell me how I'm a fool for what my opinion was really cool and made my show, grow for a little bit what it was. But things have changed.
Agreed.
And that's where it's and again I can see your point where he's pulling up because he did a lot of things on the HBCUs, and I'm an HBCU grad, Cheney University. So the first historically black college or university, I'll leave it there. But
in Pennsylvania,
no,
in Philly,
historically, okay, basically, started in Philly, and then I'll leave it there because I'll go into the whole history. But overall, Stephen A. was a big deal. And even as recently as, I would say probably say about a year. About a year, he was gigantic with us, helping out and all of that in his voice. But Steven,
Yeah.
come on, sit on the couch with us so we can talk to you because you need to be talked to, your brother. Because what you doing is wrong. And on this show, y'all making some valid points. He could have went anywhere but Fox News.
But Fox News.
To
That's
shed
how you
his
know he
tears.
truly lost his way.
And the worst part was that he says, I want all the black people out there to hear me when I say this. No black people is watching Fox News, good brother. Come on now. Come on, you're smarter than that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I mean that was his choice. And again, it's not like he was not in his right mind. He had options. He could have met with Spike and had Spike on his show. Like legit. Legit. Could have talked with anybody, really.
Yeah. So let me go ahead. I'm sorry. I'm gonna let you finish it because I got a real important question.
Go ahead.
I got a real important question because we didn't even do one this year. And I want everybody that's watching right now to put it in the comments if you're not gonna call in. Can we invite Stephen A. or Byron Donalds to the cookout? I would. So hold on. I'm gonna tell you mine first, and I'm gonna let everybody chime in. I would invite Stephen A. And then but he's coming in. He can't bring no food. He can't bring no food because I don't trust any of the shit. Like I mean, like he can't bring no food. He can't cook shit. I ain't cooking shit either. Anyway, and we going straight to the couch, and we got to talk. We gotta have a real conversation. I'm gonna give. What you want to drink? You do whatever you want to drink. We're gonna have a sit down, and we're gonna have a real conversation. Byron, Byron is not.
Before you get to Byron, Byron ain't getting that. He ain't getting that. Okay. Let me stop you on here because first off, you got to understand when we at the cookout,
Yeah,
we got the drunk uncle that. Hold on. We got the drunk uncle that's going to see Steven on site and going to hit him on site. So Steven ain't going to make it all in the party. So what we need to do is a day before the cookout, we need to have a squad go to Steven's house and have a conversation to see if he's decided if he's able to come to the party. You need to have the conversation before the cookout.
You making particulars. No, he can either come or he can't, and then we're gonna have to talk there. As many times, come on now. Now you know good damn well, how many times do you have a problem with somebody and you get to handle that shit before the cookout? No, you handle that shit at the cookout. So
yeah, I don't know.
That's what has to happen. We got to handle it at the cookout. You got to handle it at the cookout.
Listen. Listen, man.
All right.
For them, yeah. Oh no, I'm with you, bro. I'll still bring Stephen A. because you know he a character in himself. So for me, like the other cat, like some people just gone, bro. Some people just ain't no coming back.
He can't come.
So you sometimes listen. Sometimes no. Sometimes you just gotta let folks slide away. They can't slide in. You know what I mean? So it be what it be. But here's something for Stephen A. And this is just a couple things that he brought up in the thing, and I was like, okay, that's a valid point. We could discuss that. Like one is why particularly did they do this thumbs down thing right before he goes into the Hall of Fame? Right? That was a valid point. Right? I was like, oh, that's a pretty valid point. Why would they do it right now?
That's when they had their convention. That's when they had their convention.
So no. Just hear me out.
Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
So yeah, so they have this award that goes down, I guess, every year or whatever it is. But it's only been 4 other people like that got this award. Right? And I'm like, oh, okay, it's pretty solid. And then the other part of it is, does one bad thing a person do wipe out thousands of things they've done? You feel what I'm saying? So he had some good points in the aspect of that. And I was like, well, you know what? I can kind of see what he's saying, but you still got a big pill to swallow, bro. For if you ain't humble enough I mean, he did apologize to Serena on. He did that on air. I remember watching that. Right?
And
He
Kyrie
apologized
and
for that
Kyrie.
a few times.
Kyrie.
Uh,
But I even feel like Kyrie will forget.
but hold on. But some things he never came off of, and he still to this day still talk about it.
Yeah.
Now, some of them he got to come off them hills and be like, "Yo, I was wrong." You know what I'm saying? When I'm wrong, when you wrong, you wrong. It's it. That's how we did get down. If you do something bad and you do something whatever it is, if you come and say, "Hey, this is what I did," and like own up to what the hell you, yeah, I screwed up.
Mm-hmm.
Then we can have that conversation. Because if a person isn't gonna be willing to freaking even discuss or say anything about some of the things that they may have shortcomings of and be fully apparent about it, uh, then that's the problem. You know what I'm saying? But if you go down to them people and you go down around the corner to them people and you discussing our shit on they freak in their house or on their block, when you could have talked to the people on our block, now we got a bigger issue. You
Mm-hmm.
feel what I'm saying?
So
So
who is
that
it closer to?
so
If this
right,
if this hurts your heart, who are you closer to? To
right,
the
right.
to who?
What?
What show was he on?
So for what's that? He was on Fox. He was on there with Sean Hannity.
Yeah, he was Sean Hannity.
That's a
Yeah,
close friend. He wanted to share his.
yeah.
That's what he did.
Man, on
Yeah,
Fox
that's why
News, bro.
he still lost. He still lost. To run a Fox News instead of because so I don't know how y'all know Rob Parker, one of the big black journalists. Like he's on Fox Sports. He's been in ESPN
You got your phone, brother?
and he has said that Stephen A. them are they're at the point where he is Stephen A.'s one of his daughters' godfathers, and so you know there are avenues that you could have went to that would have been friendly to you and had a conversation with in the black community. You ran a Fox News.
Mhm.
That says so much to where his current mindset is. And again,
But
I
they
get that he was
birds of a
saying
feather. They go that
again,
birds of a
yeah,
feather. Like,
that's
hey,
what like
listen, birds of a feather.
he still lost to me.
Yeah,
So
you know what I'm saying?
the Cowboy Chief, Stephen A can come. I think he could handle himself. You can invite Byron if you want. Mama would never want me to act a fool. So if Byron came, I respectfully respect my mama's knowing it's on site yeah, exactly with me. Yeah, I Byron can't come. Byron, but it's just I'm a one. I want to fight him because I really don't fight anybody like that unless I really have to. But he 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 could never be in my circle. Never, never be in my circle. Like Byron Donalds is a terrible human being, and I didn't show it because we got. I'm gonna play a couple minutes of this. I'm gonna play a couple minutes of this, and then we're gonna go to clean our palate because I want y'all to see Joyanne Reed drag the shit out of Byron Donalds. Enjoy.
I'm gonna head on
I
out.
remember
All
this.
Love
right.
y'all.
Way too bad.
Oh shit. Hold on, y'all. I gotta yeah, I gotta bring it back up. Hold on. Sorry.
Nah, but so just let me know when you
Go ahead.
good. So what I was trying to, you good?
No, go,
What
ahead,
I
go
was
ahead.
trying to say, what I was trying to say about Stephen A. Man is like he that one cousin that you like. They cool, but they do some dumb shit. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? They do some
Yeah,
dumb
yeah.
shit. You know that's who he is. He's still your people. He just do some dumb shit. You feel what I mean? Him going over to Fox, and we all not saying that I'm perfect or anyone else is perfect. We all not
Yeah.
perfect. But sometimes your non-perfect is way worse than my non-perfect. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah. Yeah.
sometimes that
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
gotta bring that up. Like, yo, nah, bro, you can't go out here and say the things that you've said and not expect repercussions from them. You know you it comes in the field that you're in. You're on a big stage, and everything you say is going to be scrutinized, and he knows that. So you got to pick your words more carefully and understand the full ramifications of how big your bullhorn could be. Because sometimes I don't think I get to I think they get to the point where they don't really either know or don't care. You know what I mean? The don't
All
care
right.
part is the problem. That's where your boy is. That's why he can't come to the cookout.
Yeah, ever. No, he don't care. No, he deliberately is pulling shit up
Right.
and saying shit
He don't
to
care.
the detriment of us. So I'm gonna play a
Mhm.
couple of minutes of this, so that way you can see what Byron was about, and then watch Joy, drag him, and then we're going to clean our palate. We're gonna clean our palate, y'all.
Mm. Bobby's the plan?
You can't hear it?
No, I can't hear it or see it.
Can anybody? Oh shit, my bad.
Missing the context of what he
There it is.
said. So
That's my bad.
here's the context. Some recent comments by Florida Congressman Byron Donalds have been condemned by House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries, the Congressional Black Caucus, the chairman of the Democratic National Committee, Jamie Harrison, and the president of the NAACP, Derek Johnson, just to name a few. In those comments at an event designed to help Republican outreach to black voters in Philadelphia earlier this week, Congressman Donalds made what certainly seemed like positive comments about the Jim Crow era. And he claims his critics are missing the context of what he said. So here's the context.
I grew up with my mom. My dad and my mom, things didn't work out. As an adult, I look at my father and I say, bro, I don't know what happened, but you my father and I love you. Wow. I don't know what happened. I wasn't there. Wow. But I'm going to tell you this. Growing up, the one thing I knew I wanted to do, and this is not about my father, this is about what I wanted to do, is I wanted to be a father to myself. Wow. And so one of the things that's actually happening in our culture, which you're now starting to see in our politics, is the reinvigoration of black families with younger black men and black women. And that is also helping to breed the revival of a black middle class in America. You see, during Jim Crow, the black family was together. That's right. During Jim Crow, more black people
was great, y'all.
not just conservative, because black people always have been conservative minded, but more black people voted conservatively. And then H.E.W., Lyndon Johnson, and then you go down that road, and now we are where we are. What's happened in America the last 10 years, and I say it because it's my contemporaries, it's Wesley's contemporaries, you're starting to see more black people be married in homes, raising kids. It's when you home with your wife raising your kids, and then you look at the world, you're saying, oh, wait a minute, time out. This does not look right. How can I get something to my kids? It goes back to the conversation of generational wealth. Not just having a job, generational wealth.
I am joined now by Florida Republican Congressman Byron Donalds. Congressman, thank you for being here. We played that lengthy segment. That is what you posted on your social media. The part of what you said that people take issue with is this line, which I'm going to read back to you again. You see, during Jim Crow, the black family was together. During Jim Crow, more black people were not just conservative. Black people have always been conservative-minded, but black people voted conservatively. But it is that during Jim Crow, the black family was together. That's what people have taken issue with. What are they missing?
Frankly, what's really happened is that you have, Democrats and you have the Biden campaign, and some of the media want to twist my words for political purposes. The overarching issue is talking just about Black families and why you're seeing a trend of Black people leaning towards Republicans in this election cycle and probably in election cycles to come. And part of that, and part is that when you're raising families, raising kids, etc., you're now thinking about all of the public policy issues, all of the economic issues, all of the education issues. And that's leading people to have divergence in political thoughts. That was the only point. The stuff that comes up about Jim Crow and twisting my words, saying I was being nostalgic or saying that Jim Crow was good for Black people, that's all political spin. It's a lie. It's gaslighting. And that's truly unfortunate.
So here's the challenge, Congressman. You started out talking about your family, talking about your mom, talking about being raised, and you on your own brought up Jim Crow. In fact, you said Jim Crow 3 times for emphasis. It wasn't the media or the Democrats or gaslighters who brought up Jim Crow. It was you. You brought up Jim Crow. So why did you use Jim Crow specifically as your reference? You did that. No one else did that. You did it.
Oh, I did. We were having a conversation, just talking as Black people in Philadelphia. But if you're going to use the chronological timeline of America before the Great Society and Lyndon Johnson's time period, you had, unfortunately, the Jim Crow era in America. During that time period, the marriage rates of Black Americans was significantly higher than any other time since then in American history. So it is a divergence if you're talking about marriage rates in the Black community. They have plummeted. And what we've seen recently in America, which is a very good thing we should all celebrate, is that the marriage rates in the Black community are rising again. That's good for Black families. That's definitely good for Black children. It's something I want to see. I'm quite sure you want to see it as well.
Okay, let's talk about that. Jim Crow lasted roughly from 1867 after the Civil War to 1968. Is there a specific period between 1867 and 1968 that you thought was this golden era for Black families, or a time that was good for Black families?
Joy, I never said that. And see, this is where the gaslighting comes in.
I'm going to read what you said.
All I was talking about was the marriage rates.
Stop. No,
Joy,
that's not what you said. Let's
play
what you said.
Play
what he said.
Play what he said. Families. You're saying I said it was the golden era. I never said that.
I'm going to play what you said.
I said that it was better for Black families. I never said that. I
play what he said.
Play what I said.
Play what he said.
During Jim Crow, the Black family was together. That's right. During Jim Crow, more Black people were not just conservative, because Black people always have been conservative-minded, but more Black people voted conservatively. And then HEW, Lyndon Johnson, and then you go down that road, and now we are where we are.
Okay, so now I'm going to go back. You said during Jim Crow, the Black family was together. What was the authority of the Black father in the Black family during Jim Crow?
Well, listen, under Jim Crow, obviously, Black people were under great persecution, unfortunately, by Southern Democrats and the Democrat Party overall.
So what
I'm done. Because.
Can I say something real quick?
Yeah, absolutely. Go for it. Go for it. I'm
stopping. So if you hear what he says, and I'm going to give him what he said, because I think it is being taken out of context. And if you think about it, you want to be honest about it. Hear me out.
Mm-hmm.
During Jim Crow time frame, now it was terrible for Black families, but we had more wealth than any time almost in American history during the worst periods of this country. We had many Black Wall Streets. We had Tulsa. We had freaking DeSelma people. We had Detroit. We had a bunch of, listen, hear me out.
Go ahead.
They were, Black people were Republicans back in the day. 100%. They did do that, but I think he was using it as a comparison, not to say it was a good thing. He was just saying, hey, even doing basically the worst part of this freaking time frame of this country, Black families were together. They stayed together because they really didn't have a choice, really, because the pressure from outside was pushing everybody in, right? So for him to even like suggest, or for him to even bring it up, was kind of stupid. But I kind of understand what he was trying to get at. When he was trying to say, obviously, the person that's in control of a conversation is the listener, not the person that's giving out the message. So sometimes the message that the person is given isn't the message that people receive. So for me, listening to what he was saying, if you listen to the entire thing, he talks about it later. He talked about like, yeah, doing we had a great families, and Lyndon B. Johnson and them all came in there and fucked everything up. Right? They did. They believe it or not, right? So now if you think about the black family are basically back on the rise again. I don't think he was celebrating Jim Crow, saying that it was a good thing for us. I think he was using it as a comparison type deal. That was ill advised for him to say it in the way that he said it. He should have messaged it differently.
I could
Go ahead.
I could not disagree with you
Go ahead.
more.
Yeah. I agree with you, man. Yeah,
Everything that he said is utter bullshit. And what I mean by that is us as a people, we're in a terrible fucking place. Yes. We were able to own shops and we were able to create our own communities that didn't involve other races. And I'm not saying that in a good or bad point. I'm saying that as we had our own communities where we were self-sufficient, where we didn't need other races to come in to and fluctuate money or take money out, this, that, and the other. However, it was a terrible time for us. And I'm not saying that you're not saying that it wasn't a terrible time. So again, to equate saying we in any shape or form we're in a better place is disingenuous from the start. Because
that's not what he was saying.
That is what he was. He was saying we were better at a family. Like what he was saying was that we were better at black people at Jim Crow. People. Okay, we had a and I stopped it there, and maybe I should have continued it on so that way you could see it all, because maybe that would have made a difference for you. Yes, you had it was more married black fathers in the household. However, we done talked about this on a podcast too many times. Black fathers are still involved. We are still the most involved fathers out there. We look at it statistically overall. So the fact of saying we need to go to Jim Crow so that way we are quote unquote married. What the fuck? That's number one. Number two, wealth wise, because you said we had all these different things, and I just did a quick Gemini search, and Gemini can be wrong. I'm not gonna say that it is completely right, and we can go into it later. By the way, we got to finish this in a few minutes because we've been long. Anyway, the biggest wealth ratio for black people was in 1860. 1860. That's when we was the free. That's when we got free. 90% of black Americans were enslaved and legally barred from owning property. The 10% who were free held minimal assets. 60-1 was the wealth ratio. In now I take that back. I did it the wrong way. I'm sorry. Let me start it. Here's a historical breakdown for white to black wealth gap from pre-slavery to now. So I'm sorry. I did it the wrong way. So wealth gap from 1960 when we were first free was 60-1. So to what it is now. It went to 20-1 in 1870. That's when we had laws that was stopping the South from lynching us and all those different things, post-Civil War laws. And once we left in 1920, it went to 10-1, 1950, 7-1, 1981, it was 5-1, and now it's 6-1. I'm saying all that to say we still aren't where we need to be, and more importantly, to bring up Jim Crow as if we are in a good place now is absolutely not a good place now. We're in a good place then is ridiculous. And so
I
he
think
can't come to the
so.
bar.
He still ain't come to the barbecue. But in this context, he was talking about uh, men in a household and marriages. He wasn't talking about the wealth gaps. He wasn't talking about anything else. He was talking specifically about families and people being married in the household. He
So
didn't talk.
so so
He
so
didn't stretch it to the other part of that.
so we're gonna end it on this. We're gonna end it on
Yeah.
this, and we're gonna talk to me and you as motherfucking men.
Yeah.
1960 Ronnie Young in
Mhm.
Alabama to
Mhm.
19 I'm sorry, to 2026 Ronnie Young in Alabama. 1960 Ronnie Young in Alabama. If somebody if they approach you, yes ma'am, yes sir, to any white folk that you approach. If they respected you in any way, if they respected your wife your queen that's sitting right next to you, you would
Mhm.
handle it differently in town, in any state in the South.
Mhm.
Today, 2026, Ronnie, will handle it in a different way if they disrespect your queen. They disrespect you. They disrespect your kid. So having a father in
Oh
the
no.
house and he has to curtail who he is and how he needs to protect his family from 1960 to 1926 is a big
Mhm.
fucking difference.
2026. Yeah, I got you. No,
2026. I'm
I hear
sorry.
what you're saying. No. I'm with you fully, and you're
So
correct because the laws are
so
different
so
too. A
yeah.
whole different.
So my point. So again, what Byron Donalds said was a soundbite
Mhm.
for those for the people that needed to hear it to make them feel like,
Mhm.
yeah, make America great again, make
Mhm.
it a great again. Like, let's be real here.
Mhm.
It's for the Confederate flag wavers. That's what they're doing it
Mhm.
for. That's what he was doing
Mhm.
it for. Because
Mhm.
in the 60s, they can tell you, hey boy, go ahead. And guess
Mhm.
what? You can either go ahead or get lynched, or get your ass beat, or get arrested for some bullshit.
Listen, I get what you're saying. I understand that. I completely understand fully. You are 1000% right. Then and now are completely different things. Like I said, when I said what he said it, he should have never used that as a comparison. He was dead ass wrong with that. But when I was thinking about what he was saying, if you listen to him, I was like, I can kind of see where he's trying to go with it. I don't agree with him, but I can kind of see where he was trying to go with it. And to someone else's perspective, we're absolutely right. He said some dumb shit. You know what I mean? In the wrong context and try to use it in the wrong context. But I can see on the flip side of that, it's like, I don't think, because if you listen to what he said to build out of this shit, because I think he kind of understood where he was. So he's like, whoa. He started talking about now. He's like, well, now everything is changing for black folks. The Lyndon B. Johnson, that's all them laws really fucked up the households up for black people. That was the worst time. After Jim Crow was actually worse for us,
Hold on,
right?
hold on,
So
hold
so
okay,
oh
hold
yes,
on.
worse. So
Because we had to have we're not gonna do it today because we got to get off.
yeah, we can
You
talk
feel
about this.
do you feel like the Civil Rights Act and stuff, Lyndon B. Johnson and the rights that came in after that fucked up the American family?
Do you know who Lyndon B. Johnson is? Let's talk about. You know what I'm gonna do? I want you to do some research,
He
and I'm gonna see you.
no,
And I'm gonna see you some. No, no, not don't do research. I'm gonna
no.
send you some
What
stuff.
you're not gonna do is ask me a question
Yeah,
to the question. You're not gonna ask me a question to the question.
go ahead.
I'm asking you flat out.
Go ahead.
Do you think that the progress, I'm gonna say progress, I'm gonna say, do you think the laws that was passed through Lyndon B. Johnson's administration was bad for black people?
No, I'm not saying that. But you got to understand, like some of the things
Okay.
that no. He was kind of forced to actually sign that freaking bill. He actually didn't want to sign it. right? So you got to really understand what the situation was back then. When you go look at if you go look if you go look listen
That's not very true.
if yeah if
Very
this
true at all.
if you go look
No,
up
because he put his administration on the line there. I'm flat out disagree with you there. I
okay
disagree with you
I hear you.
completely.
So
Factually and
so
historically,
so
I disagree with you there.
so listen to what I'm
He
about to tell
he
you.
he 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 lost the South for the Democrats, and he said it. So how can you
Do
say
you know
he
how
didn't want to
racist
sign
that
it
dude
when
was, bro?
I agree with you? So
Like
we're talking two different
that dude was
things.
worse than Bull Connor, homie.
Hold on, hold on, hold on.
Oh yeah.
You're talking two different things.
No, I'm not. I'm talking about the same person.
Did he not want to sign it?
Hell
Did he
no, he
not
didn't
want
want
to
to
sign
sign
it?
it.
And did he? Hold, that's not again.
Okay,
You are in two different places.
go ahead.
You are where his mindset was, and did he probably feel that black people was inferior to white people? Yes.
100%.
But did he sign it? And did he fight for it? Did he fight for it? Yes. And you know who else did the exact same thing? Hold on.
Okay.
You know who else felt the exact same way?
Yeah,
Abraham fucking Lincoln.
right. He didn't want to
He
sign. Yeah,
thought black
I'm
people
with
was inferior.
yeah.
But no. You keep saying the wrong thing. You keep saying he didn't want to sign it. No, he fought to create it and to make it. However, he felt white superiority at the same time. So
No,
he
bro.
felt like it was an injustice and we need to fix this. Again, we're gonna end it there because we got to finish that
Yeah,
in one day.
I'm gonna say some stuff.
So we 30 minutes long. So we're gonna go to clean our palate. It's time to go to clean our palate, y'all. It's time to go to clean our palate. Ronnie, do you
Real
have
quick,
anything this week?
just real quick, man.
Go ahead.
Ronnie,
Hold on, go ahead.
Ronnie and
You
or
got it.
my daughter,
Because
my daughter and son, they just started back
it's
college
college.
on Monday or Tuesday,
Yeah.
yesterday. So yeah, so
Mhm.
they getting into what they supposed to be doing, continuing their education, uh, which is a dope thing for me. Let's to continue to watch them matriculate in their life and be way ahead of me at the time frame of
Mhm.
their life, man. So that's a clean my palate thing for me.
Absolutely. All right, I'm gonna start cleaning our palate with one Miss Gallo, Vanessa, who comes on the pod
Oh wait, I did forget one
so
other thing.
often. Okay, go ahead.
Clean
Well,
our
hold on.
palate.
Let me finish Vanessa and then I give it back to you. Yeah, hold on. Let me finish Vanessa. And yesterday was her birthday, and I want to say happy birthday again, Vanessa.
Happy
It's a
birthday.
lot of birthdays in August.
That's right, Leo
I didn't
gang,
realize it
baby.
was so many birthdays. Yeah, it's a lot of y'all, and I just want to say happy birthday to her. So that's part of the cleaning my palate. I'm not done yet, but go ahead, floor back to you, brother.
So Monday was our second anniversary. So I wanted to say happy anniversary to my baby,
Hey,
man. Yeah. We had a great time. We went to dinner, had a great time, and had some had some us time. And enjoyed that, man. So continue
yeah,
to be blessed and continue our path together. So that was a part of my cleaning panel. I forgot.
absolutely. Well, happy anniversary to y'all
Thank,
and Miss Young.
thank
I
you.
really want to see you on
Hey.
the pod one day. We got to do a mic because I hear you. I hear I hear everything you're saying. So I'm gonna need you. I'm gonna need you on the mic one day.
Oh.
Even if you want to have be shown, just call in and argue with your husband. It's fine. It's fine. The water's fine.
I'll be a chauvinist. No, I was kidding.
I promise you. Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
But so our first cleanup pilot, like I said, was somebody else saying happy anniversary. So our first
Thank
cleanup
you.
pilot again was Vanessa. Happy birthday. The second one is the youngest of our kids just became blue jacket of the quarter.
Oh, dope.
This young man right here is out there in the world in the Navy world balling. He should put on E5. He just went over 3 years this actually a couple days ago. I want to say like August 15th or something like that. And so here in the next couple of months, he should put on E5. second class petty officers for you non-squids like us.
Congratulations, man.
And so he just put on blue jacket. I am trying to get him to go OCS. His Divo, a lot of people is trying to get him to do it, and for some reason he doesn't want to go to college because he doesn't want to deal with ROTC. I don't understand why that would be an issue in and of itself. But anyway, I just wanted to clean our palate on this young man winning blue jacket of the quarter and continuing to progress through life and the Navy and making it better for himself and hopefully for the world, as we continue to do what we do as a country. With that being said, I love y'all.
Hey, you back,
and
bro.
I'll see y'all next week. Peace.
Peace.